All right, it's the end of a long workday, and I'm still getting over this cold that will not go away. And I just don't have the energy to film my normal long form content with all the swatches and the product shots and everything like that. So I figured we would just go through Trendmood, maybe browse the new launches at Sephora page, and talk myself out of every product. Let me move on over here. First up, we have the Clinique Black Honey Almost Lipstick in crystal packaging. I'm gonna talk you out of this. Okay, hear me out. Yes, Black Honey is a beautiful color. It's like a My Lips But Better sheer but dark brown, a little bit on the warmer side if I recall correctly. But let me tell you, I've tried the Almost lipstick and that formula is so overrated. It made my lips feel so dry, did not add any real nourishment or hydration. It was very thin. I felt like it kind of emphasized a little bit of my lip texture. So I think that there are several other products that you can buy with similar shades. Maybe Merit Lavenue might be a very similar one. This crystal packaging, it's pretty, so it might make a good gift, but there are better formulas, I tell you. Revlon is launching a full cover concealer. It's their Flex Wear full cover concealer. It has hyaluronic acid, vitamin E, non-creasing, non-drying, 24-hour wear, 16 shades, $12.99 each. 16 shades for a full coverage concealer is not the best. It seems to be pretty much evenly distributed in terms of the shade range, so that's good. But if you zoom in on the lightest shades, the shade Fair does seem a bit darker than the shade Light, which is interesting. Although maybe it's just the undertones that are kind of not showing up appropriately on the digital swatches. I never trust digital swatches anyways. They're all bullshit. So, you know, we'll take everything with a grain of salt here. But I gotta be honest, I've never tried a Revlon product that I've loved except for the OG lip butters back in the day. That was a prime year for makeup. Back when those lip butters were like all the rage. I think that's when I was buying the most Revlon makeup. But since then, I just have not tried a single Revlon product that has really wowed me. And so while I would love to try a full coverage concealer that's $12.99, I don't know, Revlon doesn't have the best reputation in terms of my experience with it. So I would probably wait and see some reviews about this because, you know, I don't want to waste my money. P. Louise and Michaela are launching a super huge XL palette. It's called To Have and To Hold in Case You Get Cold, with 50 mattes and shimmer shades inspired by Michaela's engagement and wedding. So it's like half beigey brownie nudes, half super icy silvery blue cool tone shades. So obviously this is not for me. I'm not an eyeshadow palette person, and I also really don't wear blue eyeshadow. But if you're the kind of person who's super glam and you love lots of different beautiful colors and you're always drawn to blue, maybe this would make sense. I haven't heard anything about P. Louise formulas, but I would imagine, you know, if you're someone who really loves glam eyeshadow, well, you're probably not subscribed to this channel, that's for sure. But you probably already own something like this. You certainly already own, you know, your neutral shadows that would work well for you. I would imagine you probably don't need this many blues, but I'm likely not the best judge of, you know, glam eyeshadow. So I would imagine maybe this is just a palette that someone who's a really big fan of Michaela might want to get, but for me, it is an easy pass. Rhode is launching a new peptide lip tint. This time it's with a sheer baby pink tint and a sparkly finish. It's in honor of Hailey Bieber's birthday and it's called Jelly Bean. So the peptide lip tints are usually unscented. So that's cool because I really wouldn't like the flavor of jelly beans. I hate jelly beans. They make me want to throw up. I'm like not a candy person at all. So this doesn't necessarily appeal to me, but I gotta be honest with you, save your money. I purchased all 4 of the Rhode peptide lip tints, and while I love the formula and the colors, almost all of them have turned grainy on me within the first month of owning them. And like, listen, I get it, Rhode. I get that it's just an issue with like the waxes and the butters hardening up in the cold weather. At least that's the response that they gave me. But you know, that kind of bothers me because none of my other lip balms do that. I don't have an issue with any of my other lip balms becoming grainy. You know, I got this feedback from someone like, oh, just put it in your bra and melt it. But I don't have the forethought to do that. If I want to apply something, I need it right then and there. You know what I mean? And when I have so many other wonderful tinted lip balms that feel nourishing and look beautiful on the lips, I just can't recommend that you go out and spend your money on something that has stability issues. And I gotta be honest, it really has turned me off the brand. When they sent me the email response response that they would only give me a refund if I sent them the product and showed them pictures of the batch number, and that they're really not doing anything to try to stabilize the formula. They didn't say that exactly, but they said this just can be a temperature issue. It's like, hold on a second, but none of my other lip balms do that. So then why does yours get to do that and we just have to keep buying your products? So that really turned me off the brand, and I really had thought that they would have solved that problem from the initial launch. I love the lip tint. I love their peptide lip treatments. The formula is just so beautiful. And when I first tried the brand, I'll leave my brand review linked on the screen above. When I first tried it, I loved it. And then after a few months, the lip balm turned grainy, and I just assumed that they would fix the problem, right? They haven't, and it looks like they're not even trying to. And so for that reason, I don't think I'm going to be purchasing Rhode anymore. I just think consumers deserve better. But if they fix the issue with the graininess, then I would totally be back on board with their formulas, because I do think they're really good, and I think the price point is also great. Oh, this is an interesting one. Okay, so we've got the new NYX Duck Plump High Gloss Pigment Lip Gloss. Who did this? Who did this? Duck Plump? First of all, when I first saw it, I thought it said Dick Plump. I'm just gonna be real with you. Like, from afar, it looked like, does it not? Just like when you're quickly reading it, it looked a little bit like Dick Plump. Either way, Dick Plump or Duck Plump, it's not particularly appealing to me. What this also signifies to me with a name like that, inferring that it's gonna plump your lips so much you're gonna have these big pouty duck lips, that's not something I'm really going for. I don't wanna burn my lips so much to the point where they're swollen. So I'm just not the target audience for this in the first place. I'm sure a ton of people are gonna try this. I know Rudy Berry tried it. She said it was quite spicy, and I don't love spicy lip products, so this is an easy pass for me. But if any of you end up trying it, let me know. There's something about like the orange packaging with the name Duck. It's not doing it for me. It's not doing it for me, you know? But if that's your thing, no judgment. Oh, okay. So Adele is launching a beauty brand, and I believe it's called the Shelburne Collective, according to Trend Mood. And according to the trademark filing, it will include eyeshadows similar to the ones her makeup artist uses to create her, signature smoky eyes, her graphic eyeliner. It'll have lipsticks, lip balms, body care, creams, lotions, perfume, also jewelry, watches, underwear, and more. So I love the initial images for this because that is just so quintessentially Adele, and I think she looks beautiful. She's known for that look, and that makes sense. Yes, the market is stupid oversaturated, right? With every beauty brand, every celebrity makeup brand we could possibly want, and then some that we don't want, Jared Leto. But I think this makes sense. She's really leaned into some very iconic signature looks throughout the years. And do we necessarily need to own products from her? No, but at the same time, is it hurting people to launch another beauty brand? I mean, maybe if you think about it, the more celebrity brands that launch, maybe that leaves less room for smaller people. So yeah, I guess there could be some problems with that. But either way, I feel like this does make sense for Adele. She's a clear makeup lover. She has such glam, iconic looks. And what I also think is interesting about Adele launching a brand, just in the way that it is represented with her unique style, is her makeup is something that I don't think is very trendy these days. We're in the era of the clean girl aesthetic. And while that is just kind of like my natural vibe, because the older I get, the less makeup I wear, I think it's kind of nice to have a brand that is going to reinvigorate, previous makeup trends with really dark black smoky eyes. And I think that's kind of cool. I do notice that makeup trends and fashion trends in general are pretty cyclical. And so if we want to bring a little bit of 2014, 2015, 2016 glam back into the beauty industry, I'm here for it. So this one is not a celebrity launch that bothers me at all. Will I be buying it? No, but I don't see a problem with it. Oh, Armani is launching their new Designer Glow Radiant Revitalizing Foundation SPF 15. Instant perfect glow, improves skin over time, enriched with Prussian blue pigments combined with new light reflecting pearls, creates radiance, reduces dullness, silk to skin texture to boost hydration, lock in moisture, strengthen skin, and preserve a healthy glow all day long. Oh, I get it. Okay, so this is currently the only shade range that I see. And at first I was like, whoa, what's happening here? But it says it's available now in Asia. So if they're only launching in the Asian market, then maybe that makes sense. But I would still imagine that there are people with much deeper skin tones than this who live in Asia. So that kind of confuses me. If you live in Asia or you understand the Asian beauty market, can you let us know your thoughts on shade ranges like this? Because there's a lot of comments on this Trend Mood post saying this shade range is ridiculous, like it's 2023, we need to do better. But then there are also a lot of comments saying, well, this makes sense for the Asian beauty market. And I'm just, given my white ass and the fact that I live in California, I don't know enough about that to really understand what that market looks like. But if you have experience there, definitely let us know what your thoughts thoughts are and what the general consensus is among shade ranges in Asian beauty markets, because I think it's a really interesting conversation at least. But personally, this is not something that I need. I love the Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. It sets to, on me, kind of a soft matte, soft natural finish, and it's all I need. So that's an easy pass. All right, I'm gonna skip a Bobbi Brown collab with Powerpuff Girls because it's Europe and Asia only, and I just would probably rather focus on launches that are gonna be available in the US because my audience is primarily based here. Jouer is launching a holiday kit, and usually I stay away from kits and talking about like limited edition collections on my anti-hauls because they just never interest me. Limited edition products are really difficult as an influencer or a creator because if you buy something and you fall in love with it and then you use it in videos, people will be commenting, "What lip are you wearing?" or "Where did you get that?" And then people get super bummed when it's something that they can't get their hands on. So I tend to stay away from limited edition kits because of that. But I feel kind of compelled to talk about this, I think because I have no brand relationship with Jouer. And I don't mean in terms of, working with their team or getting PR. I don't know that I've ever tried anything from Jouer ever. I know that they're sometimes sold at Sephora, sometimes not. But looking at this post, it just kind of reminds me of every other brand I've ever seen. Like it looks kind of like Ilia, there are these cheek tints, sheer lip oils. I mean, it's really nothing here that's groundbreaking that I probably couldn't dupe in my collection already, So easy skip for me. Skylar launched Sun-Kissed Dahlia, a romantic, warm floral scent with subtle fruity undertones. Opulent dahlia and crisp apple create a sweet, juicy profile, beautifully balanced with notes of warm and comforting amber. So the key notes are dahlia, apple, and amber. I'm interested in the apple note. I think Ellis Brooklyn also launched an apple fragrance I really wanted to try, but Sephora is pretty limited in what perfumes they have samples of, and I don't think that they would have a sample of that one. But this one for me, I'm just not a floral girl. I don't love anything floral scented, whether it's in makeup or perfume or hair care. Something about it just makes me feel really nauseous. But I would imagine if you like fruity floral, this would be nice. I do really, really like Skylar fragrances, but easy pass for me. Billie Eilish launched Eilish No. 3 Eau de Parfum, a tantalizing scent featuring notes of pink peppercorn, fir needle, and velvety amber that leaves an unforgettable impression. Top notes: a sparkling blend of grapefruit, luminous pink peppercorn, and the rich floral sea of jasmine. Heart notes: spicy hints of saffron, fresh fir needle, and smooth creamy cedar. Base notes: velvety notes of amber, earthy oak moss, and a whisper of skin musk. Cedar, oak moss, fir needle. And then you have fruity note of grapefruit, then you have floral jasmine, then you have, quite rich amber, and then you've got skin musk. This to me is like a headache just waiting to happen. I feel like you would just smell like way too much all at once. You've got like Christmas tree vibes, you've got floral notes, you've got fruit notes, you've got musk. That is just not my kind of scent. I don't know. I was expecting based on the packaging that it was gonna have some cherry notes or something like that. I'm kind of intrigued because it sounds like it would be so gross that I almost want to smell it, But yeah, this is not my vibe. If you try it though, let us know what you think. Does it smell like a funky Christmas tree or does it smell really nice? Ooh, okay. Fleur is launching candles. I'm a total candle hoe, so this has got me a little bit intrigued. They're $45 each with a 70-hour burn time, and it looks like there are two. Uh-oh, they sound nice. Wild Balsam and Currant Crush. So Currant Crush is described as a red fruit delicacy with notes of mandarin, rhubarb, red currant, passion fruit, cassis, peony, rose petals, moss, and musk. Might be a little bit springy given the current season, but then Wild Balsam is a woody aromatic scent, and it's got notes of fresh bergamot, green pine needles, silver fir, wild balsam, fresh juniper, amber, rosemary, white birch, cedarwood, and musk. So I don't think they're reinventing the wheel here. Like, this does not seem to be a fragrance, or neither of them seem like fragrances that are anything special or new. And I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with that. If you're a big fan of the brand or Chriselle, the founder, then I can see why you'd want to pick up this candle. For me personally, nothing beats Dyad Pins and Needles, which is like the perfect fresh, just walked outside on a winter night and picked up my Christmas tree kind of vibe, or Sweetwater Decor Warm and Cozy, that combines really warm holiday spices with fir balsam and pine needle and those like fresh wintry notes. So I already got those candles that fulfill that fragrance need for myself. So I don't think I need to buy these, although I really do like trying new candles. It's just not something I need to spend my money on. So many fragrances right now. Tom Ford is launching Azure Lime Eau de Parfum, and it captures the easy style and relaxed glamour of Mustique, a private island nestled in the Eastern Caribbean. It's $295 for 1.7 ounces. And the notes are lime water infusion, South African buchu, and Australian sandalwood. Weird timing. I mean, as of the time I'm filming this, I don't know when it's gonna be posted, but it's late November. I do really love the packaging of Tom Ford fragrances, especially something about this kind of aqua green packaging is really appealing to me. I love that color. But Tom Ford fragrances tend to give me a headache, and they're also incredibly expensive. In my experience, lime fragrances and any citrus fragrance in general is pretty tricky to do. I think the only one I really like is Skylar Lime Fields, Lime Sands, something like that. I really do enjoy that one because it's lime with coconut. I like that freshness. But someone in the comments said that this is actually really strong and quite masculine. So for me, skip. Kylie Cosmetics is launching new shades of her lip and cheek balms. There are 5 new glow bombs and 10 new lip liners. I actually have heard that Kylie Cosmetics is super underrated. I know my friend Eva really likes this blush formula. First and foremost, cream balms in that kind of packaging, I can tell it's gonna be that kind of formula that's similar to, I don't know, maybe something like the Tower 28 Beach Please cheek tints. Those just disappear from my face in 5 seconds and they look really dewy on my cheeks. They're a little bit sticky. They tend to stick to my face. So I don't like any cheek product that is described as a balm. So I can just tell right away that I would not like this kind of formula. But does anyone feel this way about Kylie's packaging? The font drives me nuts. It's like very young, very retro. I mean, it makes sense given her audience. She does gear to a younger demographic, so that totally tracks. But for me, there is something about this font that is so cheap, and the plastic packaging, yeah, I don't know. Even if I like that formula, I feel like I would have a hard time gravitating towards this. The font just glitches my brain. Something about it I really, really dislike. But I don't know. Kylie knows a lip pencil, so I might be interested in trying one of those. But do I need another lip pencil right now? Absolutely not. And I'm just gonna pass on this. Oh, interesting. That's so wild. Oh, Carly Bible is launching her own beauty brand. Do I live under a rock, or does that seem like, I don't know, like 6 years too late? I don't know. Does she still do beauty YouTube? I used to watch her videos, but she has a very glam makeup style, and I feel like my makeup stopped being as glam in around 2017, like 2016, 2017. I think I started going a little bit more natural, so I stopped watching her videos. But the timing of this seems a little odd. Is that just me? Oh no, that's literally everyone in the comments here. Should have launched in 2015. Yeah. I mean, good for her for launching a brand. Like, she's gorgeous. She's a huge influencer. She has a deep passion for beauty, so I say why not? But is it something that I will gravitate towards? Definitely not. I don't see any products here that really stand out to me or something that speaks to me. But you know, when an influencer launches a brand, I think it's kind of less about creating something innovative and new that you've never seen in the space. And it's a little bit more like, you know, you spend your whole career building a following and a base, and you want to launch products that kind of reflect your makeup style. So I guess this would probably make sense for Carly, but certainly not something that I would be picking up. She does look beautiful in the promo images. I mean, way more glam than my personal makeup style, but I mean, she's stunning. Ooh, Prada's launching candles, and I like the vessel that they're in. Okay, I think we have to have a little dance party. Hold on. Is anyone else obsessed with that song? It makes me feel like I'm in Europe and I'm just like raging at 6 a.m. It's the best song ever. Nothing gets me hyped like Prada. It's the best. I wish it were like 5 minutes longer because it's super, super short. But that's besides the point. Prada's launching candles. They're $75 each. That tracks. That makes sense. They've got a floral woody scent. They've got an amber woody vanilla scent. They've got a cedar woody citrus scent, a floral woody scent. Yeah, I'm absolutely positive these candles will smell amazing, but I tend to stick around the $20 to $54 price range for candles. Beyond that, it's pretty difficult to get me to splurge unless the candle's really, really big or something like that. So I would probably pass unless I went to a department store, smelled it in person, fell in love with the scent. Otherwise, not worth my money right now. Fenty is launching their Glitty Lid Shimmer liquid eyeliners, and it comes in a blue, a purple, and a silver. I have no feelings about this. I have virtually no feelings, no opinion, and no reaction to this other than recognizing the fact that seems like Fenty is just trying to launch at this point like every product under the sun. And I think that makes sense for the brand because they're a huge brand. Their whole thing is massive shade ranges, and that's awesome. Is this something that I particularly gravitate towards? No. I feel like I could probably get this at a lower price point at the drugstore. You know, sparkly glitter liners, things that I don't use on a daily basis. Those are things that I wouldn't splurge on, but it looks beautiful. I don't have opinions about this. What I do have opinions about is this next one, and Vacation Inc. is doing a collab with Arizona Iced Tea, and they created 3 Arizona Iced Tea scented lip balms. Here's the thing. I've tried the Vacation Inc. SPF 30 lip balms. I bought their whole flavor pack when they first first launched because I was just drawn in by their retro marketing and all of the nostalgic dessert flavors that they scented the lip balms with. They were trash. They were horrible. The chemical SPF taste in those lip balms. I tried to find people who wanted to take them, but nobody wanted them, so I threw them out. The chemical sunscreen taste was horrible. It coated my throat. It made me feel sick. So if you have a sensitivity to the taste of chemical sunscreen, I would skip these, unfortunately. The formula was lovely, but the taste, not so much. And it doesn't seem like they've done anything to minimize that fragrance. Burberry is launching their Beyond Wear Setting and Refining Powder. It has ultra thin powders and skin protecting ingredients that control shine and lock in your foundation. For $48.50, they have a fair, medium, medium deep, and a deep shade. I don't want to point out something negative, so I just quickly want to look at the image of the model with the deep skin. I feel like it makes her look a little bit ashy especially around the T-zone here, where they clearly have used the powder. But again, you know, these really heavily photoshopped, kind of slightly digitized photos really rarely represent a product well. So it's kind of hard to say based on this photo. It might just be the lighting or, you know, whatever, but who's gonna really want to buy a $50 powder with 4 shades? I mean, I think if you're maybe a huge fan of Burberry and you're like a Burberry collector, that might make sense for you. But for the rest of us, good riddance. Juvia's Place launched their volumizing gloss sticks. Now, at first I was really interested in these because they would have been perfect for my glossy, melty, deep dive video where I reviewed and compared so many different formulas. I'll link that on the screen above if you haven't seen it. It looks extremely similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss, which is one of my all-time favorite formulas. But before I placed an order, I watched a few reviews and everybody said it had a strong menthol tingle. And I really don't like spicy, warming, plumping, cooling, tingly lip products. I always find that they just irritate my lips a little bit and make them feel more dry. So for me, it's not worth it. I do think that the shade range is actually really nice here. One of the reasons I have a problem with the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss range is there's really only 2 shades that would really work for me. And I really like that Juvia's Place had a lot of nudes for every skin tone. That's what I really have been wishing one company would do. It's just like, give us all the nudes, you know what I mean? So I think the shade range looks really good. It has a lot of different undertones, a lot of different types of colors too. There's some berries, some corals, some pinks, but for me, the menthol is really what kills it. But if you liked it and you love a menthol tingle, let us know if you tried it and if you like this product. Oh, here we go. James Charles, the basic canvas painted by James Charles. Does anyone buy from James Charles? Is he still a thing? I've never subscribed to James Charles before, so all I know is basically that his reputation precedes him. I don't know much about him personally. I don't know anything about any drama that he's been through other than way back in the day, Dramageddon, there was this thing between Tati and James Charles. I never followed it, but I do know there was some huge beef. I just feel like way too old to follow that kind of stuff and like drama and gossip. So I don't actually know what happened, but I do know he has quite a reputation. And I'm looking through the comments and everyone's calling him a pedophile. And I have no idea why, but I also do not support pedophiles. And if that is a real thing that happened, then I certainly would not want to buy that. But regardless of the reputation or the drama that everyone's talking about in the comments, I'm not a big palette person, and these are all kind of like sunsetty colors, so it wouldn't be a good fit for me personally. If you're a huge fan of James Charles, then this makes sense. You want to support him. James Charles did pass by me at Coachella, and I have one memory. There was this young girl next to me, and she was like, "James Charles, I love you so much." And he walked by, swear to God, hold on, I gotta move my lights. And James Charles was like, yeah, like I'm not even kidding. I'm sitting there drinking my water and I'm chatting with John, and James Charles walks by in this like white outfit. I forget what it was. Maybe I can drop in a picture here if I can find it. And this fan obviously is super excited to see him and, you know, just wanted to give him a compliment. And he basically just totally ignored her and was like, yeah, it was so weird. So I can't say I have the greatest impression of James Charles after that, but you know, he has a diva reputation and he certainly upheld that reputation at Coachella. I also feel similarly to the Carly Bible beauty brand. This seems very late. I just feel like James Charles's career at this point is probably dwindling down, at least in terms of being an influencer. I don't know jack shit about James Charles. I'm pulling this out of my ass right now, but I just feel, based off of little flutters that I've heard, and especially the comments on Trend Mood, that this is also just seemingly years too late. Now, I also feel conflicted about that because I fully believe that people should pursue their dreams. Nothing makes me happier than seeing people do that, than seeing people do hard things. Launching a beauty brand, especially in this oversaturated market, is incredibly difficult. So I do respect people who to make that bold choice and take that leap, but the timing of this seems weird, so I wouldn't want to really judge someone too much, but I'm also trying to like, you get what I'm saying. I'm trying not to be mean, but my impression is not great. Harry Styles' brand Pleasing launched 3 perfumes, and when I first did a browsing trend mood anti-haul thing about Pleasing, I really felt like this was not the celebrity brand that made sense. Sure, Harry wears nail polish, so I understand that nail polish launch made sense, but the makeup palette and the pigments just did not make sense for me. He doesn't wear stuff like that pretty much ever. So the brand just doesn't totally make sense. It seems like a cash grab. And so when you have something like Adele, where she's really representing her own makeup style and launching a brand in accordance with that, I do think it makes sense. When you get someone like Harry Styles, who is kind of just capitalizing off of a semi-trend that he's partaking in, yeah, that's where you lose me a little bit. I do think though that fragrances make sense for him. I know he's talked a little bit about fragrances before. I think he used to wear Tom Ford. Is it Tobacco Vanille or Tobacco Vanille? I'm not so sure, but makes sense. They're $135 for 100 milliliters, which is, I guess, about on par with a price point I would be expecting from him. But I think maybe I would like to pick up a sample and try them out. I'd be really interested in understanding, what smells good to Harry Styles. But the packaging's kind of nice. It's a little bit funky, a little bit retro, a little bit kind of art deco, but also simple at the same time. Pretty unisex, very playful, and that totally aligns with his brand, but not something that really speaks to my soul. Need a little lip topper. This is the L'Oreal Matte Resistance Liquid Lip in Le Rouge Paris. e.l.f. launched Cream Glide lip liners that are supposed to be super creamy. I love creamy lip liners, but I prefer the ones that are super creamy, like the Dior Contour lip liner that go on and you barely have to touch your lips, but then they set down and they almost like tattoo your lips. That's what I prefer. Otherwise, a super creamy lip liner that's just gonna like fade away is not what I'm looking for. But they're $2. $2? Hell yeah. I'd be into that. Why not? The colors don't really seem, at least on this very poor quality picture on Trend Mood, the colors don't seem like something I would be particularly interested in. So maybe if I could see some swatches online, if it happens to be at Ulta, I would totally throw one of them into my Ulta bag just to try it out. But do I need it? Definitely not. Trend Mood also talked about M Cosmetics launching a cool toned palette. What I really like about Trend Mood is that people are ruthless in the comments, and that's not what I like about it. But I do like being a little bit more in touch with the everyday consumer because, I'm only a very small bubble. I like my natural makeup style, but a lot of people have a different opinion than I do on a lot of beauty stuff. And so a lot of people in the comments are saying it's cute, but it's not $42 cute. A lot of people are saying, been there, done that. There's so many cool toned palettes out there already. Someone said the quality is horrible. Okay, that's bullshit. The quality is amazing. That is, I don't know what's up with that because I love their formulas. Yeah, this is interesting. So people are really focused on the value and the fact that you're getting 6 shades for $42. Admittedly, the palettes are on the smaller size, but that's why I love them so much. They're like, I want to say they're like that big, and I love that because I can actually travel with them. I would never bring a big eyeshadow palette with me, but I travel with my M Cosmetics palettes all the time. So certain aspects do have to go into consideration. If you are someone who cares more about value, then this is obviously not something that you would want. But if you're someone like me who likes beauty products that are a little bit smaller, especially eyeshadow palettes and, cheek products and things like that, so this makes sense for me. I also reviewed it in my winter makeup video. If you haven't seen it, I did 3 different looks that you can take a look at using this palette. It's the only cool toned palette that I own, so it's perfect for me. This covers everything that I need. I just like some lilacs and soft taupes, but they also have some bronzes in here. I'll spare you. If you want to watch my review, you can see it, but I totally understand the negative feedback about this if you're really just focused on value. But for me, this is where it's at, and I've paid for one of the M Cosmetics palettes and I've received 2 in PR, and I just absolutely love their formulas. Oh, interesting. I didn't know this actually. I'm pretty behind. I haven't looked at Trend Mood in a hot second. Carolina Herrera is launching a 2-in-1 cheek blush and lip color hybrid. Lightweight and sheer with a natural silky finish, lasts up to 12 hours, smudge proof, waterproof, has jasmine wax, rose, and vanilla extract. It's probably got like a rose vanilla scent. That does not sound so good to me. Also, something that lasts 12 hours and is smudge proof. That's not something that I need because I got these bad boys, and these bad boys are like, whoa, no, why do I always turn into a cartoon character when I drop things? I don't know. But I was gonna say, these bad boys are about $13.99 on Ulta. On Amazon, they're a little bit cheaper. I know some people don't like to buy from Amazon for a variety of reasons, especially because I think quality control can be an issue when it comes to beauty products, but they just launched some more shades of these and I bought 2 of them and I found them cheaper on Amazon. So just heads up on that. But I have great matte lip formula. It's pretty comfortable. It does dry down and it's transfer proof. And for L'Oreal, I mean, they have like a vanilla scent, and these at least. It's pretty subtle, but it's there. And I just don't need to spend, what is it, $46 on a Carolina Herrera liquid lip. Hold on, can we just talk really quickly? These models look like they know something. Am I right? Like she's like, the model with the deep skin is like, get me out of here. And then the model with the tan skin tone, she looks like she knows something that we don't know. Like she's got a secret. It feels very much like blink twice if you need help kind of vibes. I'm super confused by these images. I feel like the model's expressions are bizarre. I mean, they're absolutely stunning, but they're definitely just kind of like, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm all the way back to their Halloween posts. Maybelline has already launched at this point. This was October 30th. They launched their Lifter Plump Lip Plumping Gloss. I really do love the Maybelline Lifter formula. Such a good drugstore lip formula. It's a bit cushiony and thick. It's balmy, feels a little bit nourishing, sheer but buildable pigment. However, I just can't get past the fragrance. Historically, they've had a pina colada scent. It's a pretty strong scent that's equal parts pineapple and coconut that I can remember. And it was so artificial and sweet that I couldn't reach for them. But I really love the shades that Maybelline has been developing. I feel like their lip gloss shades are by far the best colors at the drugstore. So I wish they had a fragrance-free version or something with a little bit less fragrance. Obviously, I'm not gonna go for this because it's a very spicy, hot, plumping kind of formula, and those irritate my lips. But these shades are beautiful. So if you like this, I'm sure that these are fantastic. The shade Red Flag, oh, that looks absolutely gorgeous. Mauve Bite, those would be the two that I would go for. But hey, I'm glad that they have some spicy, tingly qualities to it, because then it just gives me another reason not to spend my money on this right now. And the last product I'm going to talk about is Glossier actually launched new limited edition Bomb.com flavors. They're in cookie butter and hot cocoa, and it's actually in the original Bomb.com formula. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is I've actually never tried the Glossier Bomb.com formula. Everybody said the new vegan formula is trash. That just tends to happen. I very much respect companies for going vegan. I think that's the direction we're headed in, but I just don't think that the vegan alternatives are as good as the conventional options. I really feel, for my lips personally, I need a little bit of beeswax. I need a little bit of lanolin. Those are the most nourishing qualities. And I just feel that like the synthetic beeswax doesn't cut it. It just doesn't. And so every time I hear that a company reformulates their product to be vegan, it's always worse than the original. And I think that that really sucks. Like, I would love if brands could just launch new products that are vegan rather than reformulating tried and true beloved fan favorites. But either way, the reason I decided not to buy this, even though I really wanted to try the original Glossier formula, is the colors. The hot cocoa one definitely would be too dark for me. I really just want clear lip balms. If something comes in a squeezy tube like this with no precise applicator, then it's gonna be really messy to apply. I'm gonna have to apply it with my fingers, and I don't want to apply something that's tinted with my fingers. So for me, it doesn't make sense, but it looks like in the image they do have a bit of an applicator, but it's one of those kind of like Carmex applicators that's quite rounded at the tip. So that would still just be really messy. And then the cookie butter shade looks like something that probably I wouldn't gravitate towards either. If they were clear and just cookie butter and hot cocoa scented, I would be all over it. But otherwise, I don't think I need to spend my money on it. And also I have 100,000 other lip balms. Like I'm working my way through that lip balm video. I'll leave it on the screen above if you want. I reviewed 54 lip balms, and my God, I have a lot of lip balms, enough to last me a few years. So I think we're good. I hope you loved this sassy, quick little anti-haul. It always is nice. You know, when I'm talking about a lot of products that I love, it's good to just throw in an anti-haul every once in a while to remind us that at the end of the day, it's just beauty. It's just makeup. It's not going to change our lives. It may give us a little bit of a boost of self-confidence, and it helps, you know, fulfill our creative passions, but beauty products are never, ever, ever worth compromising your financial stability, ever. So I hope that message reaches someone who needs it today. And, you know, as much as I always talk about favorites on my channel, I hope you always remember that I would never want to push products on you. I would never say that you need something. You know, as much as I really appreciate when you guys click my affiliate links before making a purchase or use discount codes, I never want to be overly promotional of spending and beauty consumption, because, you know, the reality is, especially if you've been a beauty collector for a long time, you probably have products in your collection that can dupe half of this shit anyways. You know what I mean? So I hope you like this video. My partner John and I are going to be going away for a week for Thanksgiving. Just the two of us. It's our first ever holiday alone, and I'm really excited. I'm not going to document anything. I'm going to be completely unplugging from devices and social media, and I cannot wait. But when I get back from that trip, I'm going to start filming my normal long form content again. And if you have any video ideas, let me know. Just want to give a heads up. I decided my next deep dive video after my vanilla perfume video, I'm going to be filming The Hunt for the perfect nude blush, the perfect dusty rose, pinky nude kind of blush for my complexion, of course. You know, obviously I only have my one skin tone, but I already have a pretty big list of nude blushes that I'm doing research on. So if you want to leave any suggestions for some that I can check out, definitely let me know. And wherever you are, I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next one.